And what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Codex podcast. This is episode 71. Who thought we'd be going this long and building so much more every single time? I am your host, as always, Jamie J. Dub. With me, as always, the terrible one himself, the baggliest of arts, Tim.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going? Welcome back to this awesome episode of the Codex podcast. I'm glad you're here. I hope you're glad you're here because you're about to be entertained.
Yes, and obviously Sonny is out this week. He's had some personal things he had to deal with. We did get some information from him. He is doing well and sends his best regards. So Sonny, take care, buddy. We will see you when you get back. But we do have a great show for you guys today from Comic News. We are not doing the F list this week because Sonny is not here, and we want to show respect out of that. Do you know? And we are going to be reviewing Ghost Rider number 7 from 1991. And you know what I'm about to say, ladies and gents. If you haven't had the chance yet, go check out the codexstation.com, your one-stop shop for everything Codex. Get some merch, talk to the team, let us know what you like, don't like. Find us on all the socials down there. You guys have no reason to miss out. And if you guys can on the socials, please like, share, subscribe, and follow. Let people know where we are. We got a great community right now. We're building more and more each week, and I couldn't ask for any more.
Absolutely. Yeah, please the YouTube and Twitch algorithm gods. Tell them you love this long form content so we can continue to bring it to you multiple times a week.
Yes, please do. And with that being said, let's get into some comic news.
Right on. I'm down with that. So, okay, we've got 3 bits of news for you tonight. So, I'm going to do the rundown, not as good as Sunny, but I'll let you know what those are, and then we'll go into each one individually. So, first and foremost, DC's universe transforms into a horror movie nightmare in a new summer event series. We also have Spider-Man, X-Men, Avengers, and more go to war with each other in a new Marvel event. And last, Marvel resurrects the Ultimate Universe with Brian Hitch and Jonathan Hickman. So let's go ahead and start right at the top. This is from CBR.com, and this was written by Brandon Schreier. I can't pronounce his last name. Sorry, Brandon. But the title says it all. DC's universe transforms into a horror movie nightmare in new summer event series. And this is going to be brought to us by Joshua Williamson, Howard Porter, and Gulam March. And again, I mispronounced that, so I apologize. But the article goes on to say DC is turning its universe into a horror-fueled nightmare in its next big event known as Night Terrors with a K. Night Terrors is a new horror-themed event launching in the summer of this year from Joshua Williamson, who's going to write. Artwork goes to Howard Porter, Gulam March, and a lot more. Throughout July and August, DC will put out 2-issue miniseries that will show a hero or villain facing a horrific fantasy within a nightmare realm, which will also have an impact on the real world. So that's interesting. This isn't the first time DC's gone horror. DC vs. Vampires was hugely successful. I loved it. Everybody on here, I think, has had a great time with it so far.
Yes, especially its side one, All Out War. That was probably my favorite miniseries event. That was great.
That was with Damian, right? And Harley Quinn?
All Out War was Deathstroke, Mary Marvel.
I'm thinking Killers. That's what I'm
thinking. Killers was good too. That was a good one shot. But yeah, they see with this, I'm finally happy that they're not making it an Elseworld title. Where it just stands alone in its own content, because I thought that maybe DC vs. Vampires should have been somehow put into the mainstream because of how good it was. There's not a lot of Elseworld books that you can sit there and say, hey, this would fit in the continuity in a good way. But with that was a prime example of where I think that could have worked well. And I'm hoping that they do the same thing with Night Terrors now.
Well, I love the aspect of what they're saying here, where events that take place in Night Terrors is going to have real world consequences for the DC universe proper. I'm excited about that. It's not every day that you get something like this that affects the greater DCU. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be reading it. Absolutely, this is going to go on my pulse.
You know me. It's gonna definitely be on the pull list. It's DC related. I can't help it. There's those 3 pieces of news that we had today are definitely gonna be on my pulls on
Oh
at
yeah.
phone. But yeah, I'm a little concerned because of the night aspect with the K.
Yeah, leading
It's
into
gonna
Batman.
it's just gonna be Batman. I feel like it's gonna be like Scarecrow just gas the world.
Well,
And
that sounds like that is a possibility. I don't know.
and no, not Scarecrow that we're gonna be reviewing later today. The Scarecrow that, is a Batman rogue from DC. The good Scarecrow.
Right. Yeah, the better of the two. Well, Jamie, let's go ahead and move on to that second piece of news. This is also from CBR, again, written by Brandon Schreier. This is Spider Man, X Men, Avengers, and more go to war with each other in a new Marvel event. And it goes on to say Spider Man, Wolverine, Storm, Iron Man, and more are all at war with one another in an upcoming Marvel saga releasing summer of this year called Content of Chaos. Now,
Contest of Chaos.
Contest of Chaos. That's right. Content. It will have content. It will have chaos. So there you go. Marvel released new promotional artwork created by Brian Hitch for Contest of Chaos, a new
Mhm.
saga launching this year. The image sees a number of iconic Marvel heroes, including ones I already mentioned, also Deadpool, Moon Knight, Captain America, Captain Marvel, and many more, fighting one another in a civil war manner for reasons that remain to be seen. Side note, and I'll go into this a little more. Maybe this has to do with what's going on in the Amazing Spider-Man title, where we don't know why Spider-Man is hated by everybody for
Mhm.
something really drastic he did. So maybe that has something to do with it. But let's see here. Witness the corruption of absolute chaos and contest of chaos arriving in summer of 2023. Marvel teased while promising more details will follow at a later date. The creative team attached to Contest of Chaos has not yet been announced.
Yeah, well, with this, I'm excited for it because of Moon Knight, because
Yeah,
that's right in the title, and anything with Moon Knight I'm gonna get. But I don't know. I think we've had too many of those blockbuster beat 'em ups from Marvel to wanna actually sit there and be like, "Do I need another one? Is this
yeah.
gonna be compelling enough for me to be like, take my money's worth?" I mean, Moon Knight took my money, but it to me, it's not really a we they need to go back to the solo events where it's one person, it affects the, uh, demographic
Like
of around him,
Devil's Reign.
something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's self-contained, where you don't have 170 books that you need to get to understand what's going on for one
Hmm.
main title. But I an all-out brawl throughout the whole Marvel universe, I can get behind that.
Sonny, silly guy. Uh, will the winner of that contest be considered an award winner like the great Sonny Kruger? Probably not.
Um, those are fake awards, so if we needed to send out one, we could potentially for you. Um, but yeah, we'll go that route.
M- My opinion on this is pretty much the same as yours. Like with DC, I feel that they're doing it very differently. They're
Mhm.
kind of letting these major events breathe on their own, and that is much needed. And with Marvel, it's another big summer blockbuster in comic form that I think will have no real consequences.
No.
Very few of the big blockbuster events have had long-lasting consequences. Civil War is one of those. Devil's Reign is another, but like you said, that was more Daredevil centric than
Mhm.
anything else. But like King in Black, does that have any lasting consequences? Or War of the Realms, that might, I think. But beyond that, I don't know. This one I'll check out. I'll check out the first issue or two, see if it's something that I want to stick with. If I do, I'll keep it. If not, then I'll move on.
Yeah, like I said, it's one of those things, it's like it's been shoved down our throats so many times, how many more times do we need it,
Exactly.
realistically, in that regard, so
Right on. I agree with that 100%. But let's move on to one that I'm pretty excited about
Yes.
because somebody that Kevin doesn't like is writing this, and it's going to be amazing and epic. Sorry, Kevin. Not sorry. This also
Hashtag
is
sorry, not sorry.
exactly. This is also from CBR. Same writer, Brandon Schreier. Marvel resurrects the Ultimate Universe with Brian Hitch and Jonathan Hickman. And this goes on to say Marvel's Ultimate Universe is officially returning in a new series called Ultimate Invasion from artist Brian Hitch and writer Jonathan Hickman, two very, very good professionals, which I am excited for. Announced by Entertainment Weekly, Ultimate Invasion will officially launch in June of this year. Marvel teased of the new 4-issue limited series, and they say launched over 20 years ago, the Ultimate Universe provided a contemporary take on classic Marvel characters and storylines. Uh, Bold for Marvel to do, and it paid off in a lot of ways, Miles Morales being one of them. Known for its edginess and explosive action, the Ultimate Universe was home to some of Marvel's most talked about and thought provoking series of the 21st century. Ultimate Universe reached its cataclysmic end in 2015's Secret Wars. If you haven't read that, go do that. But nothing stays buried in Marvel Comics for long. Is it time for the Ultimate Universe to make its grand return? The maker seems to think so, and the Illuminati must form once again to stop him from his plans to destroy or perhaps rebuild the universe with Miles Morales at the center of it all. So, in my opinion, Hickman can do no wrong. I love everything that he's written. The Time Runs Out storyline, the prelude to Secret Wars, was a
Mhm.
masterpiece of comic writing. I haven't read his whole X epic fantasy yet, but I'm getting a trade here soon that has the collected stuff of all that. And I'm going to read that. But yeah, I can't wait for this. Brian Hitch doing artwork, Hickman doing writing.
Oh
I don't think
God.
you can pick a better team.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for it because back when Donny Cates was writing Venom,
Hmm.
he was the solo writer on there. He hinted towards it uh with the maker
Ooh,
for
okay.
Mr. Fantastic. He was in the realm or in the 616 and basically explaining how Eddie Brock's ruined the whole universe and they need to stop it. And that gave us a taste of what we thought. And everyone's like, "Are you bringing the Ultimate Universe back?" And he's like, "I'm not." And with Donny Cates, it's always like, "Yeah, I'm not doing it. Like, I just have him in the book."
No.
Well, there's always something behind what he says. Trust me, the guy's lied to me twice, and I don't even know him personally. Um, I personally lied to me twice. So I have a great run with creators. They either hate me or they, make me look bad. Um, but with this
With the
4-issue
exception of
series,
Daryl Banks. Daryl
I
Banks.
Daryl and Ron, if you guys ever want to come on again, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna hit you guys up after this episode. If you guys are watching, I want you guys back. I want both of you on at the same time. I was just thinking about that today. That's kind of weird.
That's amazing.
Um, but yeah, back to off that tangent. Um, my hope is that this reignites the Ultimate Universe in the correct way.
Yes.
Um, and the 616 as it is just getting stale for me. Aside from like the Moon Knight, the Daredevil, aside from those,
Yep.
everything's kind of just like, well, we got this going on over here, and we
Those
got
are
this
the
going on
only
over here.
those are the only two major titles I'm reading from Marvel right now. Like I'm Amazing Spider-Man gets pushed down the list of two reads, and Daredevil and Moon Knight are the top two.
Yeah, and like I said, with them, it's my biggest fear, and I've said this before. Tim, you've agreed with me on this.
Hmm.
Is when Marvel does a limited series, they literally, and no pun intended, limit themselves because look at Dark Ages. Dark Ages should have went on for another 2 to 4 issues.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You look at some of the basic events that lasted 6 issues that should have gone 10. Should have been maxi series.
Yeah.
They pushed themselves in the corner right so well up until that end where they need to tie everything off. and the letdown's just so big. Even with AXE Judgment Day,
Mm-hmm.
it was fantastic going all the way through, and then the end felt so rushed, and you were left with so many questions. Even their tie-in at the end, Omega, didn't solve everything.
Is that reminiscent of Final Crisis?
We don't talk about that because you're just gonna bag on it the entire time.
Because it deserves to be bagged on.
No, 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 no. You just you need culture, my friend.
I guess. I agree
But
with you, Jamie. I agree with you 100% on this.
yeah, 4 issues, and you're gonna have it revolve around the only ultimate character that made it into the 616.
Well, the maker.
The Maker just came back. He left after Venom. He's
Right.
not primarily in there anymore. But the primary character, Miles Morales, came to the 616, stayed in the 616, has been a dominant character in the 616, learned from Peter Parker himself.
Mm-hmm.
And to use him and only give him 4 issues to tell that story, I feel like this might be a letdown unless it's oversized books.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I hope these are at minimum 48 pages.
Yeah, because
I think that would
if they're normal 22, 24, it's not going to be able to encapsulate that
I
good
don't
of a story.
I don't think Hickman, as good as he is, I don't think could capture everything he wants to in 4 28-page books.
Hickman's a world
24.
builder.
Yeah, exactly.
He has a plan, so that's why I'm thinking these 4 issues are going to lead into more.
Exactly. I think it's safe to say that we know that this is going to be hot.
Yeah.
We know that. The Ultimate Universe, that it has a loyal fan base. There were great stories in there. And with it coming back, like I was devastated when it was destroyed in Secret Wars.
Right.
Because I love the Ultimate Universe and I would love to see it make a comeback. So this is one I'm definitely excited about.
Oh, and I'm right behind you on that. That's words cannot express the excitement that I feel when I'm sitting there. Like I've been burnt out on comics for a little bit now, but my love
Mhm.
for them has just grown again. So I can't wait. Like it's just people got to remember we do a comic book podcast. We do multiple shows a week. I have to fit in reading time too, and sometimes you just get burnt out. Big B word. Um, and you don't want to have to read 30 issues in a day, but we still do for the content we put out for you guys. So sometimes, yeah, we get burnt out. I took a little bit of a break and I'm back again. So I'm happy with
Breaks
that.
are much needed, especially, when doing something like this or reading new stuff or anything like that. Take a break. Go read the stuff that you have sitting in those boxes. They're there for a reason.
Right. No, totally understand. But yeah, that's about the comic book news for this week, guys. I am actually excited because it's actual comic book news and not James Gunn or MCU or
It is
who's
quiet
rumored
on that front.
who is rumored to play X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna throw a quick shout out though, and I do have to because he does do great work. If you guys want that insider feel, for anything DCEU related or MCU related, go check out MCU Digest and DCU Digest. Brandon over there does a great job. If you guys get the chance, go follow him, go like it. It's all on Facebook. And he's just building. He is probably going to be joining us on the episode of Comic Character of the Week for Hulk.
Ooh,
I talked to
nice.
him because that's the one he wants to do. And I said, we'll have you on so you can plug. So we're going to have him. And it should be a fun time. He's actually messaging me right now.
I will be in the chat for that episode for sure.
Yeah. And but with that being said, I just got to ask, Tim, do you know?
Do I know? I don't know, but I need to know.
Well, you need to know where you can get comics that we're talking about for a discounted price.
I hope you have a commercial.
We do have a commercial. I don't know who this guy is, but he makes me want to go to sleep with his voice. So, guys,
Sultry and beautiful.
stay tuned. Everyone, if you're anything like me, you love comics, but you also love a good deal. And our friends over at Heroes Corner Comics have just the deal for you. From exclusives to back issues, graded slabs, current issues, and even set up a subscription with them. And all you have to do is use the keyword codex at checkout. That's CODEX, and you will save 20% store wide. So don't miss out. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, don't miss out. Right here with me, I got my mystery box, my DC mystery box from Heroscornercomics, guys. It's $100 value, or it's $100 for a $250 value. Lucky participants in this will be receiving a special comic. It could be a first appearance, it could be a slab, it could be anything, but its value is higher than the box itself. So definitely go check them out. And also, there is a bundle based on yours truly, the Codex Station. Guys, the Codex bundle is $30 value, and you get 3 Hero Corner Comics exclusives that are only exclusive to them and nobody else. Go check them out. Go buy stuff. And the funny thing is, the Codex bundle works with the Codex code. So save 20% on that $30 value.
Absolutely, guys. If you haven't jumped on it, jump on it now. It is well worth the money. It is well worth the time. And everybody loves to save money. And saving 20% is a no-brainer. Use keyword codex
at checkout. Now, let's get into some Do You Know. Last week, I won by the skin of my teeth.
What order are we going in today?
Well, there's 2 of us, so me.
Me or you? You start. Okay, go ahead.
I can start. Okay, so I have some questions here that might pertain to what we're reviewing later, but right now, I was watching Batman 89, and I couldn't help myself because Michael Keaton being back in the Flash just grinds at my gears. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, Tim, do you know, before Jack Nicholson was cast as the Joker, who was originally planned to play the Joker in Batman 89?
Was it Robin Williams?
Yep, you got a point. I told you were going to get one of them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Robin Williams would have been great, but Jack Nicholson cemented that role.
All right.
Okay, so first question. All my questions are Scarecrow related, having to do in part with the book we're reviewing today. But let's go ahead and go with question number 1. Jamie, do you know what was the first appearance of Marvel's Scarecrow?
I know this one. Do I need to give the number?
I will take a title and potentially a number or a year. But if you get the title right, I'll let it go.
I'm going to go with Tales of Suspense.
Okay. Do you know the issue number?
It's in the 50s. Give me a second.
Sure thing. I'll give you 2.
Issue 51.
Jamie, that is absolutely correct. The answer is Tales of Suspense number 51. It came out in March of 1964.
Because that was a question I was looking up for you, and I was like, nah, I don't want to do this one. I was like, this is always done. Whew, I'm glad we got that out the way. My chest hurts a little bit.
All right.
1-1 right now.
Yeah.
All right, Tim. So we all know there's been multiple versions of the Batman throughout comics. There's been so many different Elseworld titles and everything else. But do you know what is the name of the Batman from the Tangent universe?
May I ask what the Tangent universe is? Because I don't know what that is.
Okay, so it's Earth 9, where all the heroes and villains basically are like their alter egos.
Okay. So with that knowledge, I'll say that the Batman in the Tangent universe is known as the Wayne Bat.
No, that would be incorrect. Actually, it is Sir Williams.
Of course it is. Well, there's that. Okay. Here's question number 2, Jamie. This one I think I might get you on, or at least confuse you a little bit.
I'm already confused.
You know what the Amalgam Universe is, correct?
C.
Okay. So, do you know in the Amalgam Universe what other character was Marvel's Scarecrow combined with?
Marvel Scarecrow combined with
Mhm. Yeah, what was he combined with?
from the DC side.
Yes.
I want to say Two-Face.
Final answer?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
The answer is DC's Scarecrow.
Well, that would be the typical answer.
In the Amalgam Universe, in Marvel vs. DC, Marvel Scarecrow was combined with DC Scarecrow to make Scarecrow.
The ultimate Scarecrow.
There you
All
go.
right. Okay, so because of everything coming out of the DCU and James Gunn, I figured that these questions for the movies would be great. But this one, I think I got you on.
Okay.
Now, before Nicolas Cage donned the suit of Superman,
Mhm.
there was a scrap version of Superman for anyone that doesn't know out there. So, Tim, do you know in the scrap version of Superman Lives, director Barry Sonnenfeld wanted Superman to fight what villain?
Uh, Brainiac.
No.
God almighty, Kevin Smith, you're a liar.
No, actually, this was from Kevin Smith and what he said.
Then I misremembered. Man, I
Yes, you
thought it was
did.
Brainiac.
I'll give you a hint. You're not going to get a point for it, but
Okay.
Barry Sonnenfeld directed Wild
Okay.
Wild West.
The big giant spider. God
Yep.
almighty. That was the first thing that popped in my mind, but I was like, it can't be that. It's got to be this.
He wanted Superman just to fight a giant furry spider.
Okay, Kevin, go. Big giant spider, tell me more.
Yeah.
No.
Say less here.
Big giant spider. God almighty. Okay. Question number 3. This one has to do with DC's Scarecrow now.
Oh, okay.
So, do you know, Jamie, and I think this is one you might get, what year did DC's Scarecrow first appear?
Oh, God.
What year?
This one I don't know. Scarecrow. What year? 1942.
You are so close. It is 1941.
Damn. That was the first answer.
DC's Scarecrow, ladies and gentlemen, made his first appearance in 1941 in World's Finest Comics issue number 3. So
Okay.
close, Jamie. So close. So
Yeah,
that's
well,
a tie this week.
yeah. Hey, I didn't lose, but I didn't win. Sounds like my whole life right now.
That was some good questions, though, man. Some
Yeah.
real good questions.
Yeah, we gotta start picking outside the box here because
know.
we're getting down to that little nitty gritty. So,
Yeah.
all right. With that
Well,
being said, again, guys, thank you for listening. If you guys like the questions or have any trivia yourselves, let us know. Ask us in the comments down below. We'd love to be able to answer them. Or if you want to know more, let us know too. But with that being said, everybody, welcome to Codex Reviews. Again, if you guys haven't been paying attention, my name's Jamie, aka J-Dub. With me, as always, Tim the Terrible. And today we got a fun one for you guys. We have Ghost Rider number 7 from 91. With that being said, Tim, you want to take this one away?
yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, Ghost Rider Volume 2, number 7. Writing goes to Howard Mackey. Artwork goes to Mark Texera. Letters go to Janice Chang. And colors go to Gregory Wright. So, to give a breakdown of this issue, this is like right in the beginning of the Dan Ketch Ghost Rider era. He's still trying to figure out who he is as Ghost Rider, and Dan Ketch is coming to terms at this point, 7 issues in, with being Ghost Rider and the so-called Spirit of Vengeance. So the issue starts off in an insane asylum, and you have Marvel's Scarecrow. I think what was his name? Lafton. Yeah,
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
it's
but
Lafton.
he's in there, Ichabod or something like that. But he's in there, and he is steady staring out this window, sitting in his underwear, and he's got his Scarecrow mask on. Now, up to this point, Captain America beat the snot out of him, and he's been in mental hospital ever since. Doctor and two orderlies come in. The orderlies are not very nice to him, kind of cutting jokes at his expense. And the doctor tries to put a stop to that because he's trying to heal this guy, trying to make him better and get him back out into society. But Lafton isn't paying attention. He's more focused outside the window. And then it goes to a news broadcast where it talks about how he escaped because he's like this contortionist type guy and was able to squeeze through the bars of the mental hospital. But before he did, he killed a doctor and two orderlies.
Mhm.
And Dan Ketch, Ghost Rider, catches wind of this on the news, and Ghost Rider is on his way. During all of this, in previous issues, Dan Ketch's sister is in the hospital in a coma. She had been attacked by Blackout, I believe, and
Yes.
that's where she's at. And we do see Blackout in this issue. He makes his way to where Barbara is in the hospital, and some unfortunate events happen to her. But during that time, Dan is out with his girlfriend, trying to lead a normal life, which just isn't working too well. And Ghost Rider is hell bent on going after Scarecrow. He's got to pay. He's hurting innocent people and all that stuff. But the issue goes on. Scarecrow and Ghost Rider get into two different confrontations,
Hmm.
and the end of the issue takes place, which if you haven't read it, you need to. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but yeah, two events, one major for Ghost Rider in general, and then one minor through Scarecrow. So overall, this is a very early issue, like I said, in the Dan Ketch Ghost Rider run. This shows that not everybody is affected by Ghost Rider's penance stare,
Hmm.
because when he catches Scarecrow, Scarecrow's mind is just so bananas, and the pain that he feels for whatever is inside him talking to him makes him immune to Ghost Rider's greatest weapon at this point, the penance stare.
Hmm.
Uh, but it also shows that not everybody is affected by Ghost Rider's ability to generate fear in those around him. It's a book definitely about loss and how Dan deals with that. Ghost Rider is still trying to figure out who he is, and Dan is coming to terms with being Ghost Rider. I think this issue is great as a standalone. It definitely fits in with the greater part of the story, but as a standalone issue, I think it works out very, very well. It is amazingly horror themed for a
Yes.
Marvel book at this time, and it gets pretty graphic in some parts too. But that is where Mark Texeira's artwork comes in, and this I think is peak Texeira artwork. And I don't even think he was the main artist on the title at the time. I think
No,
we still had a couple issues before he came in.
his work was on Wolverine, I believe, at the time.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And I'm not
Uh,
even a Marvel fan. I mean, I am, but you know
but
what I mean.
his artwork is amazing. It's top tier. It's very dark and horror filled, and Texera fits right in with the themes of the story. As far as the writing goes, Howard Mackey did a wonderful job. This is one of my favorite Dan Ketch Ghost Rider issues, and I think that Howard Mackey had a plan, and he was sticking to that. And this is part of that, and it really immerses you in the story, keeps you engaged,
Hmm.
makes you feel feelings and stuff like that. Yeah, Howard Mackey's into the groove on the title at this point, and the words definitely show. So overall, artwork gets a 10 out of 10 from me. I think it's well deserved. Texera did wonderful work. His line work is beautiful. His inks are fantastic, and the colors by Gregory Wright really, really add to the dark horror theme of this book. Writing gets a very solid 7 out of 10. It only gets better from here, and you've got major storylines coming up in the Ghost Rider series that Howard Mackey is a major part of. So overall, this book gets a very solid 8.5 out of 10.
Ooh, okay.
Mhm.
No, but like you said, in this book, it does deal with uh, uh basically loss and
Yeah.
potential loss, whatever. We've talked about it before, real
Mhm.
fast. If anyone out there has lost somebody or even an attempt to lose somebody, reach out. But yeah, with Catch in this, you see the anger in him more. And I felt that was presented not only through the writing, but the art itself. Especially when his mom like pushed him out the door to go out with his girlfriend and be like, "Hey, go ahead." And they walk past the bike and he's like, "We'll take the bike." She's like, "I'm not gonna have my kidneys killed because you want to
Yeah.
take the bike." And he's like, "It's my bike. I'm taking it." Like, and snaps.
Yeah, he got really
Um,
defensive about it.
yeah. And real fast, I do want to bring up in this book that there's one panel and one part that really stuck with me. And it reminded me of the movie Christine, where the car does not stop following him around after the events of Scarecrow and his sister. Uh, the bike just shows up and
Mhm.
he's like, it's following me. It's like the spirit of vengeance knows. Uh, but overall with this book, it was a little different. Scarecrow with the penance there, I would have liked a little bit more information onto why the penance there didn't work. I, I felt that the Scarecrow in this, maybe I need more uh, exposure to him,
Mhm.
but he reminded me of like a 1920s like just villain where he's like, haha, if Captain America's not going to catch me, neither are you, and then jumps
Right.
into a sewer. Um, this book was iffy for me, and there's a lot of hit and miss for it. I mean, Danny Ketch, great ghostwriter, great way of showing angst, anger across the board. Overall, though, if I had to give this a rating, I'd give the writing an 8, and I would give the art an 8. So overall, solid 8 on this one, which is really weird for me to do because I like to pick apart everything. Um, but yeah, it was just the ending had you almost in tears. And I think
Yeah.
that's what really pushed it for me. So yeah, overall, Ghost Rider number 7, 8 out of 10 for me.
That's amazing. 8 out of 10 from you, Jamie, and an 8.5 from me. We are right in the same wheelhouse as far as this book goes. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a great read. I want to get more into the Danny Ketch realm too, but I think this was a good starting off point.
That perfect. And in my opinion, I think like if you've never read Dan Ketch Ghost Rider, this is a
Mhm.
great place to start, and it kind of gives you that itch to be like, well, what are the other 6 issues about? Let me read those and catch up. And
Yeah,
then you just go from there. Yeah. Yeah, real good. I'm glad you liked it. Glad you enjoyed it.
yeah, it was definitely a good one to try. Um, but yeah, that wraps up Codex reviews for this episode. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And you already know what I'm gonna say. Guys, if you had the chance yet, please go check out the codexstation.com. It's your one-stop shop for everything Codex related. Get some merch, talk to the team. Let us know what you like, don't like. Um, all of our socials are down there, so there's no reason for you not to like, share, subscribe, and follow us. If you're not following us, you're missing out. I'm telling you right now, we have a great community with great people. Um, every bit helps, and every single one of you guys have been amazing up to this point. I love it. I love the outreach. I love everybody that's talked to us. All the connections we've made over this time. Um, it's just been fantastic. But with that being said, go ahead and take us out on this one, Tim, and then
Sure.
I'll lead us the rest of the way.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, like Jamie said, don't forget to find us on the website, thecodexstation.com, for all your Codex needs. We are also on all the socials, again, at the Codex Station on your favorite social media platform. Don't forget to hit the like, share, follow, subscribe wherever you're streaming this. It definitely helps with the YouTube and Twitch algorithm gods and lets them know that long form content like this deserves to be shown to you and many others multiple times a week. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, I love being here with you. I hope you love being here with us. I can't wait to come back and do this again for you. My name is Tim. This beautiful guy over here is Jamie. We are the Codex Station, and we'll see you next time.
All right. And guys, like I was saying before, we do put in a lot of work for this. Again, this whole team has blown the doors off more than I've ever could have imagined. There are big things in the works for us. We have our foot in the door in a lot of things. We're just hoping it doesn't get crushed in the process, but I will kick a door in just to make sure it works. There's going to be a lot of new content coming. I can promise everybody that. So if you guys like what we do, please like these videos. If you can, subscribe, tell a friend, even if you don't like comics or our medium, tell a friend that does. I'm sure they're going to find something they like. We give you guys multiple different outlets to choose from. And with that being said, guys, I know a lot of people are dealing with things out there right now, and you never know what anyone's going through. So even making someone smile could change the course of their day or life. So just always be kind no matter what. Trust me on that one. It does work. And as always, because I'm going to see you guys 3 more times this week, I will see you in the next one.